world's second largest economy, leading global trader, industrial and manufacturing giant, largest producer of renewable electricity. One nation stands behind it all. A country that has transformed scale into strength and vision into reality. This is China. From the ancient Silk Road to today's Belt and Road, China is redrawing connections across continents. Its growth is not only economic, it's technological, geopolitical and environmental. Step by step, corridor by corridor, China is shaping a new era of trade, innovation and global influence. For centuries, China has stood as one of the world's great civilizations, vast in territory, rich in culture, and powerful in ambition. In a new era of speed and connection, trade routes are no longer lines on a map. They have become the arteries of power and prosperity. Across Eurasia, 3 corridors now shape the flow of commerce. The northern route, direct but shadowed by geopolitical risk. The southern route, dependent on the Suez Canal, exposed to disruption. And the middle corridor, a rising land and sea bridge across Central Asia, the Caspian and the South Caucasus, reaching into Europe. The global landscape is shifting, with a new geopolitical reality emerging. With a long history behind, China's rapid rise is reshaping the world economy and alliances, driven by Belt and Road Initiative and its key link, the Middle Corridor. But the questions lingered. In what ways China managed this growth, and how will these new roads shift the balance of power worldwide?
In fact, it has now been 13 years since President Xi proposed the Belt and Road Initiative. Initially, development was widespread globally. In recent years, focus has shifted more toward countries in the global south, neighboring nations, Central Asia, the South Caucasus, and countries in Asia, Africa, and Latin America.
China's rise is not only about growth, but about design. A nation of 1.4 billion people guided by a long-term vision. Decades of reform turned villages into megacities and factories into engines of global supply, making China the world's second largest economy and a hub of innovation. Nowhere is this transformation clearer than in Shenzhen. Once a fishing town, it became China's first special economic zone in 1980. Within a decade, its population grew 6-fold and its economy expanded at unprecedented speed. By 2023, Shenzhen's output had surpassed neighboring Hong Kong, while its container port ranked among the world's busiest, making the city both a symbol of China's global ascent and a gateway of trade connecting major markets in Asia, North America, and Europe.
I think China's success lies in 2 broad macro policies. One is through deregulation, they unleash the power of the market. That's something on the domestic front. And globally, we engage with the rest of the world on a rule-based collaboration. So deregulation plus globalization is the key to grow the bigger Chinese economic cake.
Increasing attention was given to projects that addressed public needs. with shorter cycles but meaningful impacts on people's livelihoods. These small and elegant projects marked the first major change.
小米的项目，这是第一个方面。
Shenzhen's transformation didn't stop with its first reforms. To the west of the city, where it means Hong Kong and Macau, rises Shanghai, the Shenzhen-Hong Kong Modern Service Industry Cooperation Zone. Part of the Shanghai Shekou Free Trade Zone, it was created as a pilot free trade port to drive innovation in modern services and expand China's opening to the world. Today, Shanghai is home to more than 77,000 high-tech companies, a new frontier of reform, and a glimpse into China's future.
Over the past 40-plus years of reform, China transitioned from export-driven growth to investment-led, then to factor-driven, and now innovation-driven growth. China has established the world's largest free trade area centered on ASEAN, along with Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand, reducing tariffs and fostering trade.
From the southern coast to the Yangtze Delta, China's reforms echo across its cities. Shanghai, once the gateway of the ancient Silk Road, now anchors global trade into the world's busiest container port.
Except investment policies and planning, we have regional coordination policy. The Yangshan port. Formerly, this area was only an island. In time of 1998, construct a new Shanghai port in Zhejiang to benefit both the province of Zhejiang and the city of Shanghai's development. One of the good experiences is that sharing taxation policy, which is very important for developing cities or renovation port cities.
Shanghai is more than just a global financial center. It's a critical gateway in China's trade network. Home to the world's busiest container ports, Shanghai handled over 49 million 20-foot equivalent units in 2024, connecting East Asia with Central Asia and Europe. As part of the Belt and Road Initiative, the city continues to expand its logistics, customs, and shipping capacities to support growing trade flows, including those heading west via new international routes.
We no longer have a unipolar world anymore. China is definitely a very powerful existence in the Pacific Ocean and also along the Eurasia continent. But China is not there to seek to dominate nor to impose any ideas on any type of institutional setting over different regimes.
Across Eurasia, new transport route redrawing the landscape of global trade, from the Pacific shores across Central Asia and the Caspian, all the way to Europe. Driving this transformation is the Middle Corridor, advanced by Azerbaijan and Turkey, now aligned with a part of China's Belt and Road vision. Also known as Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, it stands as one of the key links of the century, cutting travel times nearly in half compared to the Suez Canal, while offering a faster and safer alternative. What are the key advantages of this project if we do compare it with the existing transport communications?
The reason we proposed the Belt and Road Initiative is because China believes that in today's world and in the future, if China seeks to expand cooperation with other countries, there must be a new concept, a new approach, and a new model. After the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the advantages of the Middle Corridor have become increasingly evident. Consequently, many countries now attach great importance to the construction and development of the Middle Corridor.
建设和发展。
Given today's geopolitical conflicts and the resurgence of unilateralism, protectionism, and even isolationism, the importance of the Middle Corridor is undoubtedly significant, especially for China-Europe connectivity.
In 2024, trade volume between China and Europe reached nearly $786 billion, equal to more than $1.5 million moving every minute. Cargo volumes are rising sharply, from just 350,000 tons in 2020 to over 4.6 million tons by 2024, with container traffic expanding at the same pace. Looking ahead, forecasts suggest that by 2030, the Middle Corridor could carry up to 10 to 11 million tons annually, turning it into one of the engines of global economic growth.
China is first manufacturing nation in the world. Europe needs China's goods, such as costume, such as apparel, green energy cars, everything, a large amount.
In 2024, Turkmenistan welcomed a major gathering of European Union officials where a new coordination platform for the Trans-Caspian route was unveiled. This initiative signals Europe's growing commitment to the Middle Corridor and reflects a wider strategic interest in Central Asia and the Caspian region.
China has established the C5+1 mechanism with Central Asian countries, holding meetings every 2 years. Azerbaijan is crucial for connecting China, Central Asia, the Caucasus, Eastern Europe, and Europe. The Middle Corridor can shift the center of economic activity toward Eurasia.
In May 2023, Xi'an became the stage for the first China-Central Asia Summit, uniting the leaders of 6 nations. The talk centered on trade, energy, and transport corridors, highlighting China's commitment to the region and Central Asia's role as a vital bridge between East and West.
Along the Belt and Road, we cooperate with Kazakhstan Railways, Russian Railways, Deutsche Bahn, Polish Railways, and others, jointly promoting efficiency improvements, including the launch of scheduled timetable services. In parallel, we hold regular meetings, such as within the International Association of Trans-Caspian Corridors. Every year in Xi'an, we also host the China-Europe Freight Train Forum, inviting railway companies from all countries along the route.
In summary, over the past decade plus, the Belt and Road Initiative has evolved from large flagship projects to smaller, impactful projects. From traditional industries to green, digitalized sectors, from rigid bilateral or multilateral cooperation to flexible combined approaches, and from global dispersion to a focus on the global South.
The bond between Europe and China endured for centuries along the Silk Road, a route that became more than commerce, shaping culture, science, and diplomacy. Across shifting empires and borders, its purpose remains the same: to connect continents. Today, that legacy lives on in the South Caucasus, where Azerbaijan turns the spirit of the Silk Road into the modern corridors, linking East and West in a new era of connectivity.
Currently, a train runs from Xi'an to Baku every 2 days, and from Baku, cargo is further distributed to surrounding countries and regions such as Georgia, Armenia, and Turkey. In addition, together with China Energy Construction, we are engaged in 2 power station projects in Azerbaijan. We are responsible for transporting construction materials related to these power stations into Azerbaijan. The project was launched in July, with around 100 trainloads of goods to be transported from Xi'an to Azerbaijan via the China-Europe freight trains.
What role does China see for countries like Azerbaijan in its broader trade strategy?
We know that the development of cross-Caspian economic corridors is very rapid. This year, we have already completed over 100 train trips, an increase of more than 62% compared to last year. Through infrastructure connectivity, Azerbaijan becomes a core link for regional integration. Even amid global geopolitical conflicts and protectionism, Azerbaijan maintains a peaceful and open stance, cooperating closely with Central Asian countries.
By Azerbaijan's proposal to revive the Silk Road, I think we are on the same page. And that is there to fertilize the economic dynamism that is there, among different countries. And now Azerbaijan is perceived by China as a great logistic hub that is there to link China and the rest of the Europe through Caspian Sea projects. We have such a long history of connecting with each other, of building relationships.
By reviving the spirit of the Silk Road, Azerbaijan is turning geography into strategy, anchoring the Middle Corridor as a bridge between East and West.
Azerbaijan plays a particularly important role. Its location on the Caspian Sea with a deep-water port gives it irreplaceable geographical significance. Port Baku also has a unique role in energy, green transformation, and digital development, making Azerbaijan indispensable to the Middle Corridor.
For China's westward trade, that starting point is Xi'an, once the cradle of the ancient Silk Road, and today the country's most central city, ranking first nationwide for China-Europe freight trains. Naturally positioned as a hub of gathering, distribution and transit, Xi'an connects Chinese industry with more than 40 countries across Eurasia, and its reach extends beyond rail. Combined sea-rail roads link, returning cargo to coastal ports, from where goods move on to the Southeast Asia, Japan and South Korea, making Xi'an one of China's most versatile gateways. China's former imperial capital, Xi'an, once a starting point of the ancient Silk Road, has transformed into a powerhouse of modern logistics. Today, it stands at the heart of the Belt and Road Initiative, a vital gateway to the Middle Corridor. From here, rail lines and trade routes stretch westward through Central Asia and the South Caucasus, linking China with Europe.
In addition, through cooperation with 26 cities across China, Xi'an is able to consolidate 70% of goods from other regions of the country for onward shipment. With bonded and trade policies in place, Xi'an attracts a large number of enterprises and foreign trade processing companies, further strengthening the cargo base for the China-Europe freight trains.
Trains from Xi'an now run regularly to Baku, carrying goods that move onward to regional markets. Traffic along this route has sharply increased. In the first 7 months of 2025, nearly twice as many block trains arrived from China compared to last year. To meet the demand, Azerbaijan Railways has invested in new wagons and locomotives, and in July signed a memorandum of understanding with Xi'an Free Trade Port Construction. Under this agreement, Azerbaijan Railways established a permanent office in Xi'an and opened a modern 20,000 TEU terminal, reinforcing the Middle Corridor as a stronger and more reliable bridge between Asia and Europe.
For us in Xi'an, Baku's hub function is highly valued. We are also planning to jointly invest in a terminal with Azerbaijan Railways in Baku, which is now under preparation. At present, we are working closely with Azerbaijan Railways, preparing a terminal investment project at Alat Port, which is set to become one of the largest investment projects in Azerbaijan.
For example, currently, it takes about 2 to 3 months for Azerbaijani products to reach China by sea. If future cooperation succeeds, it could greatly shorten the trade cycle and product delivery between our two countries.
Alongside major infrastructure projects, cooperation is also growing in trade promotion. Today, Azerbaijan trade houses operate in 6 Chinese cities.
At present, Azerbaijani products, including the 16 juices and wines, are very popular among Chinese consumers. Currently, our brand pavilions feature products from 4 Azerbaijani wineries, including wines, spirits, XO, etc., as well as 16 fruit juice products from Azersun Holding, totaling over 100 products.
What begins with companies and joint projects is now reflected at the highest state level. In April 2025, during President Ilham Aliyev's state visit to Beijing, China and Azerbaijan signed a joint statement on comprehensive strategic partnership, a landmark agreement setting the course for cooperation in green economy, artificial intelligence, and renewable technologies.
Азербайджан решительно поддерживает принцип одного Китая. Азербайджан поддерживает концепцию единой судьбы человечества, а также инициативы по глобальной безопасности, глобальному развитию и глобальную инициативу цивилизации, предложенные Китаем.
Going forward, the two sides can expand cooperation in the green economy sector. We know that large Chinese companies, such as Power Construction Corporation of China, have already launched relevant projects in Azerbaijan, and we will soon see tangible results. Meanwhile, Azerbaijan is building smart cities, including the Smart Baku project. Huawei and local Azerbaijani companies are cooperating to establish the Digital Silk Road, develop 5G technology, and promote global 5G standards.
治和者不以山海为源，情契者不以岁月为迁。尽管国际形势风云变幻，中阿两国万里同气，历久弥坚。根源就在于两国始终牢记建交初心，始终坚持相互尊重、公平正义、合作共赢。
Huawei has already rooted in Azerbaijan since 2004. Our strategy and vision in Azerbaijan is in Azerbaijan for Azerbaijan. We divided into 3 parts to implement this strategy. First, of course, it is localization. We have more than 200 employees in Azerbaijan, and most of them are local employees. The second strategy is about to support the digital transformation of Azerbaijan. It is about develop ICT infrastructures and your digital energy strategy, as well as we cooperating with our operators and partners to help the country do the digital transformation in various industries.
Being in China, we visited BYD, the world's largest producer of electric vehicles and batteries, and learned how the company is expanding across Eurasia. With a factory already operating in Uzbekistan and projects underway in Kazakhstan, BYD is now developing a partnership with Azerbaijan. Ahead of COP29 in Baku, the company delivered 160 electric buses and is preparing to open a new production facility in the country with an investment of about $17 million. An equally important foundation for these advances is stability in the South Caucasus. After decades of tension, the prospect of lasting peace between Azerbaijan and Armenia is opening the way for secure transport links, stronger investment, and broader cooperation across Eurasia. How do you think it will also benefit the future transport communication development linkage in between of China and Europe?
With the conclusion of the Karabakh conflict and the signing of a peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan, the South Caucasus region now holds prospects for stability and development, with a very positive outlook. This is therefore highly favorable news for the development of the Middle Corridor.
With peace opening new opportunities in the South Caucasus, attention also turns to China, a country whose development, as both leaders and citizens point out, has been the result of steady reform and long-term planning under the Communist Party. Economic restructuring, advances in technology, major infrastructure projects, and defense modernization have all shaped this trajectory. These policies lifted large parts of the population out of poverty, built the world's second-largest economy, and turned the People's Liberation Army into one of the most modern armed forces today.
By Chinese constitution, we have a socialist market economy with Chinese characteristics. So that is really a synthesization of Karl Marxism, and that is something that is more adaptive to the Chinese traditional culture and also the current reality. And now, by building consensus over such sort of principle, we are able to join the rest of the world by trade and investment.
Standing here at the Memorial Hall of the First Communist Party, China's National Congress, we are reminded of how history continues to shape the present. From its founding moments to today, the party has played a central role in China's transformation, uniting people, guiding economic reforms, advancing technologies, and engaging with the world.
By our Chinese experience for a long time, in the past 70 years more, we have experience of established model project. With the going on of the Middle Corridor, there will be more investment. The other, increase employment. And the third one, it will bring good experience from the international partners to the Middle Corridor and to change it into modernized economic corridor to make a fortune for local people.
As China builds new roads of trade and cooperation, it does so with a memory of war still present. The conflict with Japan began long before World War II officially started, and China paid a devastating price before victory was achieved. Those years of destruction left a lasting lesson. Peace cannot be taken for granted. Today, instead of confrontation, China invests in connectivity, railways, ports, and trade corridors that tie nations together. The belief is clear: when economies are linked and prosperity is shared, the chances of conflict diminish.
Because it is Chinese belief and it's also China's success. By improving the infrastructure, you build higher level of connectivity, and you bring people closer together, you bring more resources close together.
China's largest trade partner has shifted from the US to the EU, then to ASEAN over the past 5 years. Strengthening trade with ASEAN, the EU, Azerbaijan, and Central Asia reflects China's trade diversification strategy. US-China friction cannot lead to decoupling or breakage of supply chains, as both countries are the world's largest economies, making collaboration essential.
In China, there is saying, to see 100 years of history, go to Shanghai. for 500 to Beijing, and for 5,000 years of civilization to Xi'an. From the pulse of modern metropolis to the weight of imperial legacy and to the ancient crossroads where the Silk Road began, China's journey is written across its cities. It's a story of endurance and vision carried through centuries, now stepping into a new chapter. We traveled across the cities of China, visited its hubs of innovation, and saw the results of decades of determined efforts. What drives this nation forward is a clear ambition for global development, the expansion of trade links, and the unity of its people around a shared vision. From the Belt and Road Initiative to the Middle Corridor itself, this progress is reshaping alliances and building new connections between East and West. It's a journey that is transforming not only China, but the way the world moves together.